Hi, YouTube. It's Joann, the life coach here. I'm not teaching on this video so much as just talking about what being a coach has done for my life, because I was just speaking with one of my coaching colleagues about this and felt so fired up and got so clear on this that I wanted to jump on and share it. I will be uploading some teaching video, so be looking for that. Especially, I'm going to upload a video on the basic self-coaching thought model, which is a powerful tool. It's amazing. So I wanted to get that in place to share with you all on this channel. But just briefly, as a life coach, I have coached weight loss and I have coached widows a lot. I'm the widow coach. Joann, the life coach, has become the widow coach. And I want to speak to the widows that follow me, that have listened to my podcast, maybe read my books. And I want to talk to you about the power in learning these coaching tools, these self-coaching tools, because my life transformed when I became a coach. My husband died at the very end of 2014. He died December 29th that evening. And it was less than 48 hours later that I was watching the ball drop on TV for the beginning of 2015. And there were two thoughts that were life-changing for me. The first thought was, oh my God, when Jim and I celebrated 2014 last year, he didn't know that was going to be the last year of his life. He had no way of knowing that. And then I realized, as I was watching the ball drop on 2015, that I had no way of knowing if 2015 was going to be the last year of my life. And I thought, I need to make this pain that I'm experiencing right now, this was new grief, and I need to make this mean something. I need to live this year like it's the last year of my life. Do that literally. There should be no day this year that I waste doing something that makes me miserable. There should be joy in every day that I have. I need to savor every day that I get this year. Because if Jim had known when we welcomed in 2014 that it was going to be the last year of his life, man, he would have gotten every bit of juice out of every day, right? So that's how I took on that year. And somewhere about halfway through that year, I realized that coaching was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I had, in the corporate world, I had been coaching for over 20 years. It's what made me successful in the corporate world. I would nurture and coach my teams so that they were happy with what they were doing. I didn't want anybody coming to work and work with me that dreaded having to come to their job, because I felt like that's just the worst thing for someone is going to dread every day of their life that they have to get up and go to work. So I would coach my teams. And at that time, I didn't even know that life coaching was a thing. I didn't know that there were schools for it. All I knew was, you know what, this is really what I want to do with the rest of my life. And the corporate world is changing so that I'm becoming more and more of a number cruncher, processing data on the employees. And I'm not allowed the luxury of having the time to actually coach and work with my teams. So when I decided I wanted to coach for the rest of my life, that this is what I wanted to do with my life, I started Googling it, right? This is what my mentor calls going to the Googles. I love that. So I Googled and started finding that you could become certified as a life coach, and looking at all the different schools in the country for life coaching. And I came across a school that taught this self-coaching thought model, the life coach school. At that time, it was in California. And decided that was the closest to what I had been doing, that this was exactly what I felt to be true when I coached, was what they were teaching, what Brooke Castillo was teaching. I wanted to become certified by her. Then the corporate job that I took it started out great, but they were not nice people. They were expecting me to work nonstop, pretty much 7 days a week. And some weeks I was covering the help desk at night in addition to the job in the daytime. So it was like 24 hours a day for 7 days. It was madness. And it all came to a head. And I took the plunge. I made a decision that I would have never done if I had not felt like I'm living 2015 as if it's my last year on earth. I flat quit the corporate job on a Monday morning. I was just done, which meant I was giving up all of my income, you guys. That was my only income, was that paycheck. And I quit. And then I took my bank account almost down to my last dime, and I went to the life coach school. I bought a plane ticket to California. I had to pay for a hotel room in California for about 10 days and paid for the life coach school. It changed everything for me, because from that moment on, what I learned changed me. It transformed me. It's also what I teach now to widows, because I want every widow to have that transformation. And when I look back over the last 3 years now, I can see so much difference. I know I'm not the same woman that I was when Jim died 3 years ago. I'm an entirely different person. Would I want Jim back? Of course. Of course. If I could change that so that Jim never dies and we just stay in our happy, comfortable life, and I keep living the comfortable life I was living with my husband, I would do that. But the truth is, he died 3 years ago. And I was able to take that traumatic event for myself and all that grief and pain and turn it into growth for myself. Instead of post-traumatic stress, I turned it into post-traumatic growth. And I began coaching. I began learning to be an entrepreneur. I began transforming who I am into a woman who could reach out to other widows, teach them how to coach other widows, and help them experience that transformation and that growth too. So when I do this widow coaches class, where I certify widows as certified widow coaches so they can reach out to other widows and coach them, what I'm doing with that class is more than just, you're going to learn for 12 weeks and no, I'm giving you this same transformation. I'm giving you someone who's going to be a leveled up version of you, right? I want to give what I got to other widows. And I want other widows to be able to find a widow coach nearby to work with them, the widow coach who's going to understand the transformation that they need to have the strength to get through this grief and to move ahead with their life again. Because you can. You can. I'm telling you, I took like the biggest leap of faith that my brain could wrap around. I walked out of my corporate job. I took all my money and I went all in on this. I initially began as a weight loss coach. I coached stop overeating. That was my thing as a life coach. I took all of my money and I put myself 100% into this. When I came back from California, I worked as hard as I could to get certified, to meet all those certification requirements. And then I began educating myself on everything I could, on how do I find the people who need me? How do I find clients? How do I do this? How do I have a business for myself? It's a whole business education. I did an incredible amount of learning and growth so that I can truly sit here today and tell you I'm not the same woman I was 3 years ago. And if Jim had never died, I would never be who I am right now. That's the gift. It's crazy to think that you could look back on the death of your spouse, on probably the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your life, and see a gift in there. But this is how you take the worst thing that ever happened to you in your life and make it mean something. Make it become something and experience that growth, that transformation. Make it something that you can be proud of. I am so proud of who I am and what I do today. Now, this whole YouTube channel, Joann the Life Coach TV, I want to be able to reach all kinds of people through this. For my widows, I market to you. I've written 2 books for you. I have Widowcast podcast to talk to you. I offer the class for you. I want to give this transformation to so many more. And hopefully on Joann the Life Coach TV, I can start introducing people to what a life coach is and what a life coach can do for them, working with them, because I know there's a lot of skepticism in the world about life coaches. There still is, because there are life coaches and then there are life coaches. There are some people who think that they can just go coach other people, and there's no regulation on it. They can do that. They can hang a shingle out that says, hey, I'm a coach. I'm a business coach. I'm a homeschooling coach. I'm this coach. Where was it? I think it was in the post office. And the one that was training the new postal worker had a little thing on that said, postal coach or something like that. And I thought, oh my God, everybody's a coach now. When you find an actual life coach, and the ones that are not certified, the ones who are not getting results for people, if they're not getting results for people, they're not going to be in business for long. That's one way to know. But actual life coaching, the kind of coaching I do, the kind of coaching I teach, is transformational. No question. Because once you know this, you can't unknow it. It changes you, and it changes you in amazing ways. So, if you're one of my widow listeners and you are still stuck somewhere in your life, if you are still sitting in a chair in your living room just watching reruns because you can't bring yourself to try to go anywhere or do anything, you're in such traumatic pain from the loss of your spouse. You need this. You need to learn this. Learn it for you, if nothing else. Learn it for your own self. And then decide what it is you want to do with the rest of your life, how you will go forward, how you will grow. It can be as a widow coach, coaching other widows. It could be as all kinds of other amazing things. First, we need to heal you. We need you to be able to see the way clear out of the chair in your living room. Let's do that. This is the example of what's possible. Okay, go have a spectacular week. Could be the last friggin' week of your life. We never know. So get out there and make it mean something and enjoy it. Okay? Bye, you guys.